I have a 9-year-old daughter who is here with me, and we wanted to call in because she has been having some fear or uncomfortable feelings when thinking about dying. And I know all of the things that we as atheists typically say to other adults about the prospect of death. And I've found that talking to an adult is significantly different than talking to a child for me. And the responses about, you remember before you being born as being bad, and they're not as comforting to a child as they are naturally to an adult.
Well, I think that there's not necessarily one thing you can say to a child in this situation that's going to make them more comfortable or less fearful. About the only thing you can do is encourage them to continue talking about their feelings. Is it that she's afraid of her own mortality or for someone else?
Well, the way she's expressed it is that she's afraid of being dead and it being nothing. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, normally when I talk to people about this, I do what you mentioned earlier, which is what was it like to not be alive yet? Because that's, so far as we know, that's what it would be like to be dead. There's no such thing as being dead,
Right.
And so I don't see that there's anything in particular to be afraid of. To me, what I struggle with is the loss.
Right.
And what we talk about quite often in the community is about, the value of life. And when I look at it, it's like, she's, 9, so I don't know when her birthday is. But I would imagine, has she had a really good birthday party?
Oh, absolutely.
Cool. That birthday party ended at some point. If we were to spend the entire birthday party worried about when it was going to end and what it was going to feel like to no longer be at the birthday party, that would ruin the party. And I tend to look at it in this pragmatic sense of, I want to have fun at the party, and I want the party to be good. So since I can't do anything about the fact that it's going to end and that some point in the future I'm going to be in a situation where I'm no longer at the party, I can't change that. But I can change what I do right now, and that's going to determine how good that party is. And that analogy stretches all the way throughout life. That, yes, it's incredibly sad when we lose people that we love, when they die, when they no longer exist. We have their memories, though, which we can value, and we have the time that we spent with them. I don't worry about what it's going to be like to be dead, because I don't think it doesn't make sense to me. It won't be like anything. It's not anything. I just stop existing. But I'm fairly confident for some period of time, there are people who are in my life now who will have fond memories. They'll look back on the fun things we did, and they will have those things. And while I won't still be alive in any real sense, I'll be alive in the only sense that matters. And those things actually make me happier. Would I love to live forever? Yeah. All of our ancestors throughout history have tried to find ways to avoid death and sat around worrying about what happens after death. I think if we start earlier, teaching people that death is a natural part of this process of life so that they develop the tools early of how to cope with it, then we hopefully will have less anguish during the process of dying and immediately after. And we can get on to the point of healing and valuing life. Because if all we do is sit around worrying about it, we've crippled the only life that we know we're going to have. If it turns out afterlife, there's some bonus afterlife, well, great. Then that's like finding out that the party gets to keep going when you thought it was going to be over. And I think something Jen said earlier is not to be overlooked. Don't ever beat yourself up for how you feel about something.
Right.
If in fact you're sitting at the party and you start to worry about, oh my gosh, it's going to end and I don't want it to end and that's so sad, that's perfectly normal and understandable and acceptable. And when you recognize that this is a natural process of how you feel and how you think about things, that will help you deal with it so that it perhaps has less impact later. But those feelings aren't wrong or bad. That's just you. And we're all like that. None of us want to die. None of us want the party to be over. Matter of fact, my favorite quote from Christopher Hitchens as he was dying when he said it's not at all like people suspect that you're being told the party is about to be over. In his view, you're being told the party's going to continue, but you have to leave. And that was the part that kind of hurt him. And I think that's incredibly telling about who we are and how we feel about things. And never, ever beat yourself up too much over how you feel about them. Just be aware of it. And cherish that too, because that's what makes you special and shows that you care about life and you care about people and you care about yourself, and all those things are good.
Yeah.
Can you say thanks?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys really make a difference every week. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Will.
Thanks.